Kubota's rise in the 1980s was nothing short of remarkable. While the decade saw intense competition from American and European brands, Kubota quietly built its name around something no one else could match: unshakable reliability in small, efficient machines. But within that golden era of innovation were several Kubota models that, for one reason or another, slipped through the cracks of history. They didn't sell in huge numbers. They didn't become collector icons. Yet each of them was brilliant, tractors that showcased Kubota's engineering genius long before the rest of the world caught up. Let's rediscover these 10 forgotten Kubota tractors of the 1980s that were truly ahead of their time. Number 1. Kubota L295. The Kubota L295, introduced in the late 1970s and running strong into the early 1980s, was one of those tractors that quietly did everything right. It didn't boast fancy electronics or aggressive styling, but under its orange skin lay a masterpiece of simple, bulletproof engineering. Powered by Kubota's reliable 3-cylinder diesel engine, the L295 delivered around 30 horsepower, striking a perfect balance between compact agility and practical power. This was the tractor that could till, plow, mow, or load, all without ever complaining. Its 8-speed transmission gave it remarkable flexibility, while the 4WD option made it unstoppable in muddy fields and rough terrain. Farmers loved its torque-rich low-end performance. You didn't need to rev it high, it just pulled consistently and confidently. The hydraulics were straightforward yet strong enough to handle heavy rear implements, and the steering was precise even without power assist. What made the L295 brilliant wasn't just its mechanical strength, it was its balance of design. Kubota engineers understood exactly what small and mid-sized farmers needed: a tractor that didn't break down, didn't waste fuel, and didn't require a college degree to fix. Unfortunately, the L295 arrived during a time when larger, flashier tractors dominated farmers' wish lists. Many saw 30 HP as too small, even though the L295 could outperform bigger models in efficiency and traction. When newer L-series tractors came out later in the decade, the L295 quietly faded away. Yet decades later, you'll still find L295s running perfectly on small farms, often with original engines. That's not nostalgia. That's proof of how overbuilt and underappreciated this little orange workhorse really was. Number 2. Kubota B7100. The Kubota B7100 isn't just a forgotten tractor. It's the one that created an entirely new tractor class. Before the 1980s, compact tractors weren't really a thing in the mainstream. Most people either owned full-size farm tractors or small garden machines. But when Kubota released the B7100, it filled that gap perfectly and quietly changed agriculture forever. With just 16 horsepower from its tough 3-cylinder D750 diesel engine, the B7100 might sound underpowered by modern standards. But horsepower never told the full story. The secret was Kubota's engineering efficiency. This little tractor could perform like a much bigger machine, whether it was mowing, tilling, grading, or pulling a small trailer. The B7100 came in both 2WD and 4WD versions, and its mechanical simplicity was a huge selling point. The 4WD model especially was revolutionary for small property owners. It could dig through mud, snow, and uneven ground with surprising confidence. Add to that Kubota's bulletproof gearbox and smooth clutch, and you had a tractor that was almost impossible to wear out. But what truly made the B7100 special was its versatility. You could attach mid-mount mowers, front-end loaders, snowblowers, rear blades, and more, transforming it into whatever your land required. It was the ideal do-everything tractor for rural homeowners, landscapers, and hobby farmers. So why is it forgotten today? Simply because it was replaced by its successors, the B7200, then the B8200, which brought minor upgrades. The B7200 became old news by the late 1980s, even though its reliability and simplicity were never surpassed. To this day, many owners claim their 40-year-old B7100s start faster than modern tractors. That's not an exaggeration. That's Kubota engineering at its purest. The B7100 wasn't just a tractor. It was the beginning of the compact tractor revolution. Number 3. Kubota M4500. When Kubota unveiled the M450, it was clear the company wanted to prove something, that it could compete with big-name Western brands in the higher horsepower segment. Delivering around 45 horsepower, the M450 was a serious machine designed for medium-scale farming operations, hay production, and field work. Under the hood was a rock-solid 4-cylinder diesel engine, built for torque, longevity, and reliability. Kubota focused heavily on fuel efficiency, a crucial advantage during the oil-conscious 1980s. The tractor's direct injection system meant cleaner burns and fewer emissions at a time when competitors were still relying on outdated combustion designs. The M4500's layout was pure function. It offered power steering, durable rear axles, and a fully synchronized transmission that shifted as smooth as butter. It was rugged enough to handle big implements, but compact enough to fit in barns and orchards where larger tractors struggled. What made the M4500 so brilliant was its versatility. It was one of the few tractors in its class that could transition seamlessly between field work, loader work, and transport. Its balanced frame gave it incredible traction without being too heavy on soil compaction, something small-scale farmers appreciated. Yet despite its technical brilliance, the M4500 was a commercial underdog. In North America and parts of Europe, Kubota was still fighting brand perception. Many farmers still saw it as a small tractor company. Meanwhile, larger US and European brands had stronger dealer networks and financing programs, making it hard for Kubota's mid-range models to gain traction. The M4500 eventually disappeared quietly, replaced by later M-series updates. But its reliability legacy lived on. Countless units still operate today with original engines. In retrospect, the M4500 was proof that Kubota could build big power into a mid-sized frame, a philosophy the brand still follows today. Number 4. Kubota B8200. When Kubota released the B8200 in 1983, it instantly stood out. Here was a compact tractor that behaved like a much larger machine, one that delivered real agricultural capability in a body small enough to store in a garage. At 19.5 horsepower, it might not sound intimidating, but the B8200 packed more practical performance than many 30 HP tractors of its time. The heart of this little monster was the D950 diesel engine, a 3-cylinder powerhouse known for its incredible fuel economy and endurance. Kubota paired it with either a gear-driven transmission or, in later variants, one of the earliest hydrostatic transmissions, HST, offered in small tractors. That made operation smooth, precise, and fatigue-free, especially for loader work and mowing. The B8200 also came with 4WD, live PTO, and a robust hydraulic system. It could power rototillers, front-end loaders, mowers, snowblowers, and more with remarkable control. For small farm owners, it was a dream come true, one tractor that could handle every season, from spring plowing to winter snow removal. Its engineering was so good that even decades later, many owners still prefer it over newer compact models. The B8200 could idle for hours without overheating, start in freezing conditions without issue, and run on fuel so efficiently that owners joked it sipped diesel like a cup of tea. So why did it fade into obscurity? The answer is simple: timing. By the late 1980s, Kubota was already preparing to launch newer, slightly more powerful B-series models. The B8200 became overshadowed by its successes before the world truly appreciated it. Today, the B8200 is remembered by collectors as one of the most dependable compact tractors ever made, a forgotten masterpiece that defined what a small but mighty machine could be. Number 5. Kubota L245DT. If there's a tractor from the 1980s that perfectly captures Kubota's engineering spirit, it's the L245DT. Introduced in the early part of the decade, this 24-horsepower diesel tractor was simplicity and strength rolled into one, the kind of machine that seemed impossible to wear out. The DT in its name stood for dual traction, Kubota's way of saying 4WD. And that 4WD system gave the L245DT incredible traction for its size. Whether climbing steep hills, pulling a plow, or working in wet fields, it just kept going. The D1302 engine, a 3-cylinder diesel, delivered rock-solid torque and minimal vibration. You could run it for 10 hours straight and it wouldn't flinch. The L245DT came with an 8-speed manual transmission, allowing precise control whether working in the field or doing loader tasks. The hydraulics was strong for its class, easily managing rear implements and front loaders. Farmers often praised how well balanced it was, stable enough to carry heavy loads, yet light enough to avoid compacting soil. What truly made the L245DT brilliant was its indestructible simplicity. There were no electronic controls to fail, no complicated emission systems, just gears, diesel, and steel. Owners could perform almost all maintenance themselves, and even decades later, parts availability remained surprisingly good. Its only flaw was that it was too modest for its own good. The L245DT didn't turn heads, didn't make magazine covers, and didn't advertise itself as revolutionary. But ask anyone who owned one, and they'll tell you it was a machine that outworked and outlasted tractors twice its price. As newer models like the L275 and L285 arrived, the L245DT quietly slipped into retirement. Yet it remains one of Kubota's most beloved hidden gems, a humble, hard-working survivor that embodied the brand's golden era durability. Number 6. Kubota M5030. The Kubota M5030, released in the mid-1980s, was one of those tractors that farmers didn't fully appreciate when it first hit the market. Positioned as a 50-horsepower utility tractor, it was designed for heavy-duty chores, tilling, baling, plowing, and hauling, the kind of work that demanded strength, not sophistication. And that's where Kubota over-delivered. The M5030's 4-cylinder diesel engine was a masterpiece of over-engineering. It was smooth, fuel-efficient, and built to run thousands of hours without major repairs. Many farmers who owned one described it as quietly unkillable. It just kept going, year after year, with minimal maintenance. The tractor featured a sturdy gear-driven transmission that provided excellent torque in low ranges and a high-torque backup mode for demanding field tasks. Its hydraulics were among the most powerful in its class, making it perfect for loader work and heavy rear implements. Kubota also paid attention to operator comfort, a wide seat, accessible controls, and impressive visibility for a mid-80s design. But the real brilliance of the M5030 was its strength-to-size ratio. It wasn't massive like full-size farm tractors, but it could pull and lift well above what most 50 HP machines could handle. Farmers quickly learned they could trust it with heavier implements, from balers to small plows, without fear of breakdown. Yet, for all its brilliance, the M5030 never became a bestseller. The mid-1980s farm economy was struggling. Many farmers were tightening budgets or avoiding mid-tier purchases, opting for either cheaper compacts or larger high-finance tractors. Kubota's M5030 ended up caught in the middle, strong, capable, but overlooked. Decades later, the M5030 has become somewhat of a cult favorite among tractor collectors and small-scale hay producers. Those who own one swear it's one of the most reliable tractors Kubota ever made. It was a machine built too well for its time, a quiet workhorse that never asked for attention but always delivered perfection. Number 7. Kubota B6100. When Kubota launched the B6100 in the early 1980s, it was marketed as a small, entry-level tractor for gardens, estates, and light farm work. But anyone who has operated one knows it was much more than that. This compact 14-horsepower tractor became a symbol of Kubota's engineering philosophy. Small doesn't mean weak. The B6100's D650 diesel engine, a 3-cylinder workhorse, was smooth, efficient, and almost impossible to kill. It used very little fuel, often less than a gallon an hour, yet produced incredible torque for its size. The 4WD variant, the B6100DT, could plow, mow, till, or dig in conditions where larger tractors would slip or sink. One of its most underrated features was its gear-driven reliability. The simple transmission, paired with Kubota's precise hydraulic system, made the B6100 extremely dependable. Owners often say that it starts even after months of sitting idle, a testament to Kubota's design purity in that era. Despite its small stature, it could handle an impressive array of implements. From rototillers to small loaders and even snowblowers, the B6100 could be adapted for almost any job. Landscapers loved its maneuverability, while homeowners admired its toughness. The B6100's only real weakness was perception. Many buyers in the 1980s dismissed it as too small to be useful, but in truth, that compact size was its superpower. It could work efficiently in spaces that full-size tractors couldn't reach. When Kubota later replaced it with the slightly larger B7100 and B7200 models, the B6100 quietly faded from catalogs. Yet decades later, thousands are still running strong, often with original engines. In hindsight, the B6100 wasn't just a small tractor, it was a proof of concept. It showed that durability, design, and purpose-built efficiency could outperform brute horsepower. A true little giant from Kubota's forgotten golden age. Number 8. Kubota L345. The Kubota L345, produced between 1978 and the early 1980s, sits in a strange place in Kubota's history, overshadowed by both its smaller and larger siblings. But make no mistake, the L345 was one of the most capable, balanced, and dependable tractors Kubota ever built. It's just that few people remember it. At around 34 horsepower, the L345 was powered by the D7100 diesel engine, a three-cylinder legend known for smooth power delivery and excellent fuel economy. The tractor came with optional 4WD live PTO and power steering, features that at the time were rare luxuries on compact and mid-size tractors. Its design was pure Kubota, practical, durable, and elegant in its simplicity. The transmission provided a wide range of working speeds, the hydraulics were responsive, and the tractor's weight distribution gave it incredible traction without tearing up soil. Many owners considered it the ideal balance, not too big, not too small. The L345 was a favorite among orchard owners, small dairy farmers, and rural contractors. It was reliable enough to run daily, yet light enough to transport easily between jobs. Many were sold with front-end loaders, and the frame was built to handle the extra strain, something cheaper tractors often struggled with. So why did the L345 fade into obscurity? Timing again. By the mid-1980s, Kubota was launching newer models like the L355 and L450, which offered more horsepower and sleeker styling. The L345 simply didn't stand out in the marketing materials. It was a quiet overachiever that did its job too well to be noticed. Even today, the L345 is remembered fondly by those who own one. It's the kind of tractor that never needed praise. It earned respect by working hard year after year. A true forgotten big brother of Kubota's legendary L series. Number 9. Kubota M4050. The Kubota M4050, introduced in the mid-1980s, was a serious piece of machinery built for hard agricultural labor. Designed to bridge the gap between mid-size utility tractors and heavy farm models, the M4050 packed around 45 horsepower and an attitude that said, "Put me to work." Under the hood was a 4-cylinder direct-injection diesel engine, one of Kubota's finest from that era. It delivered outstanding torque at low RPMs, perfect for heavy plowing, hay work, or pulling wagons. Its power steering and fully synchronized transmission made it surprisingly nimble, while its strong hydraulic system ensured smooth control over rear implements. The 4050's frame was rugged and compact, built from thick cast steel with excellent weight distribution. This made it both powerful and stable on hilly terrain. The simple layout also made maintenance easy, which farmers appreciated. Oil changes, filter replacements, and mechanical adjustments could be done with basic tools. Farmers who owned the M4050 loved it for its no-nonsense reliability. It started in freezing temperatures, handled long workdays without overheating, and ran smoothly on rough terrain. Many considered it one of the toughest tractors Kubota ever produced. Yet, despite all this, it never became famous. The 1980s farm economy was unforgiving. Many farmers were downsizing or simply couldn't afford new tractors. Meanwhile, larger Western brands had deeper marketing pockets and local financing options, which Kubota lacked at the time. As a result, the M4050 quietly served its loyal owners without ever becoming a star. Today, finding an M4050 in good condition is like finding buried treasure. Those who know what it is will tell you it's one of the toughest Kubotas ever built. A rugged, forgotten performer from an era when tractors were made of steel, not software. Number 10. Kubota B8200HST-DT. At the tail end of the 1980s, Kubota released a tractor that few people noticed, but everyone today benefits from. The B8200HST-DT, a variant of the B8200 series, was among the first compact tractors to feature hydrostatic transmission, HST, a game-changing innovation that made operation smoother, safer, and more intuitive. The HST system allowed the operator to vary speeds seamlessly without clutching or shifting gears. For loader work, mowing, or any job requiring precise control, it was revolutionary. Paired with Kubota's rugged 3-cylinder diesel engine and dependable 4WD system, it created one of the smoothest and most efficient compact tractors of its time. The B8200HST-DT wasn't just about comfort, it was about precision. Operators could creep slowly through dense brush or speed up on open fields with a simple press of the pedal. Its differential lock, live PTO, and durable hydraulics made it incredibly versatile. Landscapers and small property owners who tried it quickly fell in love with how effortless it felt to operate. But as with many innovations, the market wasn't quite ready. In the 1980s, most farmers trusted gear-driven tractors. Hydrostatic systems were new, unfamiliar, and perceived as too complex. Mechanics were wary of repairing them, and buyers feared higher maintenance costs. As a result, sales were modest. Over time, though, the hydrostatic concept became standard, not just in Kubota tractors but across the entire compact tractor industry. And it all started here, quietly, with the B8200HST-DT. This tractor didn't just perform well, it paved the way for a new generation of machines. Every modern Kubota BX, B, and L series model owes part of its DNA to this forgotten 1980s innovator. It may not have made headlines then, but in hindsight, it changed tractor design forever. So that's it for today. If you like this video, then please hit the like and subscribe button for more videos. Thanks for watching.